What's up guys, we're M&S. Today we prepared the guide video for Akkan normal game 1. Let's get into it. Basic term. Battle items. Hamsa potion or panacea, potions, sacred charm, and whirlwind grenades. Supporters can take darkness grenades instead. Number 1. Purify. In game 1, Purify rune is a must. There is a debuff which steals plenty of your HP, so place at least one Purify rune on your skill. Number 2. Drown. In game 1, players drown if they fall outside the map. When you drown, you get a chance to survive by pressing spacebar and playing a minigame. However, wetness debuff stacks on players who fall in water. Wetness debuff raises difficulty of next minigame and is almost impossible to survive at 4th try. This debuff can be erased by using Inanna, so hold still. Number 3. Power of Akkan buff. The boss we faced in game 1 have 3 stacks of Power of Akkan buff. Similar to Valtan's armor, and this buff reduces 10% amount of damage intake per 1 stack. Sequentially, buff gets erased when party members solve main mechanics at 143, 128, and 112. Number 4. Dangerous debuff. There are 2 dangerous debuffs. First, Disease Wound. Party members can get Disease Wound debuff for 10 seconds when they get hit by the spear. It constantly reduces 3.5% HP per 1 second. Second, Corrosion. Party members can get Corrosion debuff for 20 seconds when they are hit by circles the boss creates. This debuff increases damage intake by 30%. Number 5. Transition debuff. After 143, 4 players will have black disease and other 4 will have green disease. When players who have different disease get close, one transition debuff triggers. Transition debuff reduces amount of heal by 50%, also lowers 10% of players' HP per 1 second. This is why we must use at least one Purify rune during the raid. Number 6. Remembering positions. At 143, players run to their positions. P1 number time 3, P2 number time 3 plus 1. 8 random disease marbles appear. So destroy one disease marble that appears near you. The members with black disease gather in northeast, and members with green disease gather at southwest. Remember, black northeast, green southwest. And solve the mechanic that comes out. Plus, party leaders should chat whether they will use Panacea or Sacred Charm for the main mechanic before they enter game 1. You'll know what it means. Main pattern. 143 Transition pattern. At 143, the boss moves to the center and creates 8 random disease marbles. Remember positions we decided before, P1 number time 3, P2 number time 3 plus 1. Destroy one black or green disease marble and remember your color. Soon, one giant spear or 2 small spears will land on the ground. Get inside the spear as soon as the boss creates a spreading black aura all over the map. If it was one giant spear, black gather at right and green gather at left. If it were 2 small spears, black gather at a spear close to northeast and green gather at a spear close to southwest. The reason why we separate black and green is to prevent transition debuff during the mechanic. Plus, all 8 members must get inside the spear right after the black aura to survive. 128 Stagger Pattern. At 128, Stagger Pattern begins. The boss charges energy and green debuff is given to party members. When green debuff turns into yellow debuff, players can purify the yellow debuff and gain red debuff. The red debuff increases player stagger rate by 315%, so the key of solving this mechanic is to purify yellow debuff at a right timing to get red debuff. When green turns yellow, yellow debuff only remains for 2 seconds. Therefore, party members must use Panacea or Sacred Charm together as soon as it turns yellow. After changing yellow to red, party members must quickly throw whirlwind grenades and skills to stagger the boss. Tip: gather with players and use Sacred Charm together to lower the risk. 112. Grab and Stagger. At 112, the boss jumps up to the sky and one marble spawns, green or black. Someone with same color disease debuff must destroy the marble and stand at where the marble was at. If someone with different disease debuff destroy the marble, the player gains transition debuff until the raid ends, so only destroy when it matches your color. After attacking the marble, The boss comes down and grabs the player. Stagger the boss as soon as stagger bar appears. When the boss gets staggered, green marbles and black marbles spawn and run toward the boss. Erase ones that match your color. However, you can get transition debuff when you erase 3 wrong marbles, so be careful. If small marbles reach the boss earns a shield, so try to erase them all. Tip: only one player should get grabbed. If someone with different disease debuff gets grabbed, game's over. If no one gets grabbed, the game's over too. To easily stagger the boss, only one player with a perfect disease debuff should get grabbed. 112 Time Attack. After erasing small marbles, cutscene comes out and field begins to shrink. Now, 1 minute time limit is on. Party members must lower boss's HP by 90. To make it on time, party leader normally uses Thyrane to quickly reach 90. When party members made it, the boss gets staggered. Tip: dodge yellow zone. During time attack pattern, it's difficult to distinguish yellow zone because of water. It's almost impossible to reach 90 in 1 minute if players get grabbed by the boss. After the time attack pattern, party members must move on to the next combat zone. And there are some points you need to know while moving on. First, green and black separate. Until players reach the next combat zone, black stay at right and green stay at left. And then transition debuff will not trigger. Second, first player that leads must ping the safe road. If you're the first player while moving on, the screen zooms out and shows you which road is safe. Safe road is the one with no crumbling effect. Ping the safe road to let others know. Third, wait in front of the next combat zone. As you arrive, don't enter the combat zone directly. Wait until the stairs get drowned at least half. Then jump to the next stage. If someone enters the stage without waiting, the boss jumps around and creates danger circles. You can skip the dangerous pattern if you wait a bit. 72. Mini boss and spear. At 72, all you need to do is kill mobs that spawn and get inside the spear. Mobs include mini boss, which is bigger than other mobs. If no one kills the mini boss, it explodes and gives massive damage. So kill it before you get inside the spear. After killing mobs, black gather in northeast and green gather southwest. So the boss lands in the center and shows black aura all over the map. And this time you need to get inside the spear a bit faster than before. You get in as soon as you see the black aura. Tip number 1. Ping if you got paralyzed. During the mechanic, you can get paralyzed if you're hit by small bugs for 5 times. Don't panic and ping your place. Someone will come over and use Sacred Charm to save you. Tip number 2. Don't panic if you accidentally stepped on the spear. Spear constantly lowers your HP proportion to the amount of HP you have. Therefore, it's impossible to get killed as HP becomes low. Just ping your place for help. Then supporter will come over and give you a shield. 50. Dodge the laser and stagger. At 50, the boss moves to center and stagger bar appears. So the boss shoots laser in order: horizontal, vertical, and diagonal. Dodge the lasers in order and stagger the boss. After staggering the boss, blue effect comes out, so counterattack the boss. Seems difficult, right? However, there is an easy solution. The boss stands up after landing at center. You use Inanna as the boss stands up, and the boss no longer shoots laser. Just stagger the boss for free DPS timing. When the boss gets staggered, it falls into groggy and does not wake up for a long period of time. And that's why party leader need to use Inanna at this moment to easily clear game 1. 16. Breaking shield. At 16, the boss moves to center and mechanic begins. The boss turns into a cocoon several times and gains a shield as the bell rings. Player's goal is to break all the shield the boss has. What should we do to break the shield? At first, dodge danger circles and kill small mobs. When you kill a mob, you get 1 stack of Power of Disease. If you gain 3 stacks, it turns into a powerful buff. This buff increases your damage and shield by 700%. Therefore, you should get at least 3 stacks of Power of Disease by killing mobs before you start breaking the shield. When DPS classes gain a powerful buff by killing mobs, their job is simple. As the bell rings, the boss gains a shield. Get in, attack the boss, get out if the shield breaks. Repeat the word. However, there is one important thing you need to remember. When you get close to the boss, you get debuff that stacks. Players can get killed when it reaches 10, so you must get out before it reaches 10. Plus, the boss gains 20% damage increase per shield that party members fail to break. So, DPS classes must do their best to prevent the boss from becoming stronger. 30. Last Survival. After the breaking shield mechanic, the boss recovers its HP and gains 20% damage increase per shield that players fail to break. Also, the boss creates green aura around itself. And this aura lowers movement speed and stagger rate, so try not to get hit for your survival. From now on, there are no main mechanics you need to solve, but there are some important patterns that appear during the last survival. First, Imprison. The boss gains a shield and one random player gets imprisoned. When someone saves the imprisoned player, other players around the imprisoned player gets imprisoned too. Imprison can be solved by one basic attack, so save each other. Second, Counterattack. The boss creates dangerous circles and lands at random position. Then prepares a powerful attack. Counterattack the boss. And that's it for main patterns. But let's look at important patterns. Important pattern. Rush. The boss steps back a bit and rushes. If someone was caught, the boss attacks several times and throws the player away. If no one was caught, the boss swings his spear and slams. Step back and poke. The boss steps back a bit and pokes front. If someone was caught, the boss shoots a laser at front. If no one was caught, the boss slightly attacks behind. The laser can attack players standing in front, so be careful. Long poke. The boss creates a yellow zone and pokes. If someone was caught, the boss throws the player along with 270 degrees flash. Get behind the boss. Tentacle. The boss falls down and creates a donut-shaped yellow zone, then grabs players with tentacles. The boss lets players go only in two conditions: when it's staggered and when it slams several times with tentacles, so do not get caught by the boss. Poke and sting. The boss creates a small yellow zone at front and pokes. If someone got poked, the boss stings the player several times and throws. If no one got poked, the boss turns around and slashes. Jump. The boss jumps with a yellow zone. If someone got hit by the yellow zone, the boss slams and throws the player. Then inside explodes, dodge the red circle to avoid the outside explosion. Counterattack pattern. Jump and counterattack. The boss jumps 4 times with dangerous circles. Counterable when red zone appears below the boss. Multiple slam. The boss slams several times and red zone appears below the boss. Counterable at the end. Slam combo. The boss slams 3 times and red zone appears in sector 4. Counterable at the end. Basic pattern. Whirlwind. The boss massively spins and moves around. At the end, the boss knocks out players and outside explodes. Stick to the boss. Tentacle slam. The boss slams front with tentacles. If someone was hit, nearby explodes. Also, the boss let players go who was grabbed by a tentacle pattern. Uppercut. The boss swings up with spear. If someone was hit, the boss stings multiple times. If no one was hit, the boss swings behind. Big swing. The boss swings big and creates half-shaped circle, and then swings again. Tumbling poke. The boss does the tumbling and pokes front and back. The danger circles spawn too. Tumbling slam. The boss does the tumbling and slams front. The danger circles spawn too. And that's it for Game 1. Thank you for watching our video, and please feel free to join our channel for more information. Thank you.